Symbiotes, unstoppable forces. We've all heard of Venom and Carnage, but today we're diving into the dark and twisted origins of another symbiote, Toxin. But before we get into Toxin's past, let's take a quick refresher on what the symbiotes are. Symbiotes, also known as the Clintar, an alien species that bond with the host, granting them incredible powers. However, this bond comes at a price. The host is often consumed by rage and aggression, as well as the symbiote consuming the host's organs. The most famous of these symbiotes are obviously Venom and Carnage. But what happens when the most bloodthirsty of the symbiotes gives birth to one, otherwise known as Toxin? Toxin's story begins with Carnage, who, like his father Venom, yes, Venom is the father of Carnage.
To you, father. No. Not you, father. You, father.
Is capable of reproducing. Carnage, one of the most psychotic of the symbiotes, eventually gave birth to an offspring as well, even more powerful than himself and Venom combined. This new symbiote is named Toxin. Toxin first appeared in Venom vs. Carnage, issue number 1 in September 2004. Toxin is the offspring of Carnage and the 1,000th symbiote in the line. He first appeared as a speck on Officer Mulligan's neck. In the comics, due to him responding to a call of an explosion Carnage caused, tried to kill his offspring in fear of it becoming stronger than Carnage himself. But obviously this failed. Later, this symbiote was named Toxin by Venom, his grandfather. Yup, Venom is technically the grandfather of Toxin since he gave birth to Carnage. And Venom understood the danger of Toxin if not controlled. In Venom vs. Carnage, 2004, issue number 2, the same issue also shows Toxin's fully developed symbiote. Ultimately, the Toxin symbiote found his way to Patrick Mulligan, a New York City police officer who we see in Venom.
Let there be carnage.
And towards the end of the movie, we do see his eyes lighting up blue. This may be hinting to the fact that he may have a symbiote as well, like Venom has in the past, where his eyes do change color. Unlike Cletus Cassidy's and Carnage's bond, Officer Mulligan is a kind-hearted man, while Toxin is crazy, making their bond more complicated as Mulligan tries to fight off his urges for violence. Toxin had incredible destruction power, but the relationship between host and symbiote was always a clash for using the powers for justice. Toxin just wanting to use it for destructive power. It was hard for the two to bond and they fight at each other constantly. Toxin rarely takes control of Mulligan's mind within the comics, giving him some control, so this is like a battle between good and evil, you could say. Toxin tries to persuade Officer Mulligan, much like we see with Venom and Eddie Brock in Venom 1.
You gonna eat anybody else?
Most likely.
Oh, God.
That is why we are here.
However, he intends to use the powers for good, but obviously Toxin thought otherwise, much like his father Carnage. Toxin, like his father and grandfather, gained abilities such as regenerative healing, shape-shifting, and super strength, but he also gained a new ability, and that is to track anyone in New York, including any other symbiotes, and even more physical power than Carnage and Venom. As when symbiotes have offspring, they tend to be more powerful than their father, grandfather, etc. But yes, Toxin's legacy within the Marvel Universe is wild, as at times he'd even side with the heroes, and at times given to his dark instincts as well. This can be making him an anti-hero in a way. The potential for Toxin is limitless. He bounces host to host, but yet has unleashed his true destructive power. Definitely a power struggle for Toxin, an ongoing battle for him between good and bad, as well as him clashing with the host's instincts becoming good, and his are bad, obviously. Maybe if he had Cletus as a host, it'll work in a way because they are both psychotic, obviously, and the true destructive power would be unleashed. Toxin has proven to be one of the most powerful symbiotes to date, and an overall fascinating character within the Marvel Universe. What do you think about Toxin? How will he relate to the upcoming Venom 3 movie? As we did see Officer Mulligan in the trailer, it's obvious he contains the Toxin symbiote and was being kept away. I hope to see him as the main villain in this movie, or maybe even siding with Venom to take down Null? Who knows? And make sure to go watch that Null breakdown if you haven't yet. Where will Toxin's path lead to next? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to sub to not miss another upload, and let us know for any other stories you would like us to go over and go into depth. Have a good day and night. See y'all later.